Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Cirque Du Cfl number 2. This event is actually pretty stacked coming in at a B tier and it's insanely top heavy, so let's just get right into it. For our top 16 teams, you're going to have Beast Mode Paul, TM7 Zap, Jake, and Kobe. In 9th, you're going to have Aaron, Goblin, Omega, and Sam Sora. In 7th, you're going to have Epic Gabriel and Luis. In 5th, you're going to have Chase and Kurama. 4th, Mudace. 3rd, The Buzz. 2nd, Zomba, and our first seed is Light. And before I forget to mention it, Aaron is so underseeded at this event. It's actually crazy. For reference, I believe he's the 10th seed, so that means he's under Goblin. Don't understand that. He's under Sam Sora, which is complete legacy seeding. He's under Epic Gabriel, which, again, no offense to any of these players, but, you know, Aaron got 2nd at Riptide. He beat Spargo at SmashCon. I think he should be the 7th seed above Luis, as well I have Luis at the 8th seed. Aaron at the 7th seed, and then I would just kind of shift everyone else down. Maybe put Epic Gabriel below Goblin as well, just because he hasn't been going to a ton of events. But yeah, Aaron got absolutely screwed over on the seeding here. Now, for the top 32, we are just going to be talking about the projected seeds in the winner side, because I do want to highlight those players that got seeded top 32 winner side, because it's a very impressive thing to do that at an event of this caliber. But there are a couple players that I think are going to make upsets, starting off with Anathema, who is, again, really underseeded, like criminally so. I think he would be favored against TM7 Zap. I'll talk about Bowser Jr. Rob a little bit later on, because as you can see, Zomba versus TM7 Zap is projected to happen. But if Anathema does win that, the last time that Anathema Zomba played, it was a clinic by Anathema. He is incredible at the Rob Ditto, and then he's likely going to get Luis. And as you can see, they do have a back and forth record. You are going to have Anathema winning one, but overall, it is going to be Luis winning. But it's not unfathomable to think that Anathema actually does end up taking, really the wrong tab, Anathema actually does end up taking a top 8 spot to the winner side of the bracket. For the section of the bracket, I think Peanut over Epic Gabriel is definitely something I could see, as well as Riku over Kobe. These are just two players that I think are absolutely insane. I could see them popping up at this event. And then the final upset that I want to highlight is going to be Jen over Beast Mode Paul. Jen is such a good player. Like, he's actually phenomenal at this game. We just don't really get to see him at events. So if he was able to take a set over Beast Mode Paul, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So our first chunk of the bracket is going to be Light, Kobe, Epic Gabriel, and Sam Sora. And honestly, I think if upsets are going to happen, it's probably going to be here. You're going to have Light, Kobe. Actually, Young Link does pretty well into Fox. Now, that's not a guaranteed upset. Light has lost to Young Link players in the past, like Toast at Frostbite, but also that was like 3 years ago, so it doesn't really mean anything. But I'm just saying the matchup has been a struggle before. It can be a struggle again. And Kobe has taken out players of the caliber of Light, so I definitely don't think that's an impossible upset. You're also going to have Sam Sora, who's probably just the biggest X factor in the tournament, because I have no idea how he's going to do. Could he beat Epic Gabriel and Light? Yes, absolutely. Could he not even get top 32? Also a possibility, so we're just going to have to see how that plays out. For the next chunk of it as well, I don't think there's going to be too many upsets here, at least for whoever gets into the top 8. I'm very confident Mudace will get here. He has to go up against Shake, and he destroys Aqua, so he should be able to beat Jake. Then he goes into either Chase or Omega. He absolutely rolled Omega at Riptide, and I would expect the same thing here. And then Chase, they haven't actually played in a long time. Last time they played was 1 year ago, but Mudace did win both of their encounters, as well as Mudace just being a player that talks so much trash on Palutena that he better win that matchup. Our next group of players is likely to be Zomba versus Zap and Luis versus Goblin. Now, for Zomba Zap, this is a pretty interesting one, because I think that Zap has a chance here. He's been doing some pretty incredible stuff both off and online recently, and Rob is a character that once Bowser Jr. gets in, he can definitely make the most of it. Now, I'm not saying Bowser Jr. beats Rob. I would definitely have Rob favored in that matchup, though it's not like an absolute blow. It's not unthinkable to think that Zap could win it, but Zomba is, of course, going to be the favorite going in. You're going to have Luis versus Goblin. This one, a little bit more interesting, because as you can see, the record is 4-1 in Luis's favor, but you do have Goblin winning their last encounter. Now, I am still going to be going with Luis. It was game 5, and also it's only one set. He could have just been playing better that day. And Luis is a player that he has some ups and he has some downs, but overall, I do value him higher than I do Goblin. Goblin has been looking decent as of late. That 9th place at Delfino Mazza was very impressive, so hopefully he'll be able to play well, because God knows that we need Roy in the meta right now. But I would favor Luis going in there. Then we have Zomba Luis. This one, also very interesting, because you are going to have these players playing multiple times. Luis is going to be winning their last set, but then Zomba wins the 3 before that, but then Luis wins 2. They're kind of trading back and forth, and the trend here is that Luis would win it, you know? He wins 2, he wins 2, he wins 3. You know, Luis is due for 2 more wins. That's all I'm going to say. So I am going to predict Luis to get that upset over Zomba. Editing proof block here. I just forgot to mention that Luis is coming into this event fairly hot with a 17th place at SmashCon. He was able to beat players like Black Twins, Riku, Shu, Pocket, and MBD, so that gives me even more confidence for him going into this event. And our final topic qualifier is likely going to be between DeBuzz and Beast Mode Paul, or Kurama Aaron. Now, for DeBuzz Beast Mode Paul, This one could actually get pretty interesting because the Buzz has been getting a lot of success on the Rosalina as late. I mean, it literally carried him to second at SmashCon. Not carried, he carried Rosalina to second at SmashCon, but you get what I'm saying. And I actually think Hero does very well into Rosalina, and then you have the Buzz's other characters where he could go the Olimar. Again, I think Hero does pretty good versus Olimar. Then you have the Min Min, which we haven't seen in a long time, and that matchup is probably more even. But what I'm saying is the Buzz will have to fight an uphill battle in the game, but also he has been phenomenal as of late, so he's probably still going to win that, but it is something to consider that the matchup is a little bit rough there. You're going to have Kurama Air. Now, this one, I have literally no idea how it's going to go. These players have never played before. The matchup is even. Kurama has lost to Tweek in the past, but also Tweek is a top 5 player in the world, and Aaron and Tweek play such different styles of Diddy Kong that I don't even think it's comparable, so I really don't know how that's going to go, and instead I'm just going to predict Dabuz versus both those players. Now, Dabuz Kurama, sorry, my mic cut out there, but I was talking about Dabuz Kurama, and Dabuz is definitely the favorite going into that set. He's won all of their previous encounters, as well as probably being the best player in the entire world versus Mario. I don't know if he's ever lost to a Mario Smash Ultimate. Someone should fact check me there, but he's incredibly good at the matchup, and unless Kurama does something absolutely incredible, he's probably going to get sent to the loser side of the bracket if Aaron already hasn't sent him there. And Dabuz Aaron, this one has a little bit more drama because they've only played one time before, at least offline at SmashCon in 2022, and it did go into Dabuz's way, but it was a Game 5 set, and both of these guys have been playing the best like they've maybe ever played. At least for Aaron, he's been looking phenomenal, and Dabuz, it feels like he's really reclaimed that title of the King of New York. At least he is trying to. So I think regardless of who wins that set, it's going to be a banger. But because Dabuz did win their last encounter, I am going to favor him. Now, we aren't going to be looking at the loser set of bracket just because they are so fickle in tournaments, but I have picked my top 20 players that I think are going to make top 8 at this event, and I've given them their percentages. You have the confident tier. These are the people that I picked to go through on the winner side, being Light, Mudace, Luis, and Dabuz. You have the somewhat confident tier. Aaron, Kurama, and Zamba, I'm definitely more confident in, but Anathema, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to make a run as well. You have the maybe tier, Kobe, Omega, Chase, Goblin, Samsora, and Peevna. I think the top candidates for this one would definitely be these three guys, especially Omega and Chase, especially Omega after his run at Riptide. If he's able to keep that up, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the top 8. And the reason that Samsora and Jake are highlighted blue is just because I don't know how the players are going to be playing. We haven't seen them at an event in a little bit. So if they're at peak form, they definitely could make top 8 of this event. They probably should make top 8 of this event, but they're probably not going to be at peak form. So we'll have to see how they're going to do. And you have the perchance here with Jen, Riku, Zap, and Beast Mode Paul. I think Zap and Beast Mode Paul's brackets are pretty important just because of the characters that they play. And Jen and Riku, I think if they're just popping off, they can absolutely make top 8. And our final player in the Let's Go Chunky Kong event is going to be Chunky Kong. I just think he's got a really tough bracket. He's got Chase in the winner's side, and then he has to make a loser's run with Donkey Kong, which is incredibly difficult to do because there are so many insanely bad matches that you can just run into, but he's done it before. He's kind of a really incredible player, one of the best. Actually, I would say that he is the best Donkey Kong in the entire world. So if anyone is able to pull it off, it would be Chunky Kong, but he's going to have to put in a lot of work. And we have finally arrived at the top 8. Now we're just going to be doing the projected seeding as per usual. In the loser side, we're supposed to have Epic Gabriel versus Chase. Now they've only played one time before. It did go into Chase's favor at Frosty Faust. And I also do think that Palutena wins that matchup versus Rob, or it's like even at the worst for her. So I would definitely expect Chase to come out on top there, especially considering that he's just been getting in a lot more reps as of late and has been looking very good at all the events that he's been going to. You're going to have Luis versus Krama. It's going to be an in-region battle. As you can see, 27-32 is going to be the record. These guys have played a lot throughout the history of Smash. I mean, they've been competing for number 1 NorCal for a while now, and as you can see from the recent records, Kurama has taken that title of the best in NorCal, but that doesn't mean he's going to be the best at NorCal at this tournament. Now, I'm still going to pick him to win, but it is very interesting in brackets, especially at these bigger events when players have played each other a ton because they just know the ins and outs. They know the habits. It's less character versus character, more player versus player, and that's definitely the time when upsets are going to happen. So, going to be an interesting set. Another in-region one we have is Zamba versus Dabuz, and they haven't played as many sets. It's going to be 12-5 into Dabuz's favor, but Zamba has won 3 of their last 4 encounters, and I would expect him to win this one as well. Now, to Dabuz's credit, he has been looking really, really good, but so has Zamba. Both these guys are on their A game as of late, so we're going to have to see who wins that again. Another banger, and our final set in the top 8, or at least for the first round, is going to be yet another banger in Light Mudace. Now, I am going to pick Light to win this one. Even though Mudace did win their last encounter, he was on something else at Genesis. Like, he was absolutely farming at that event, and Light typically was beating him before that, so I'm going to pick Light to go through on the winner's side. Our losers quarters matches are going to be DeBuzz versus Chase and Mudace versus Kurama. Now for DeBuzz Chase, they've only played once pretty recently at SmashCon. To be fair, DeBuzz was on fire at that event, and it did go to Game 5, but this isn't really telling of the set because these first two games were not with Rosalina. That's a reporting here. The first two games were with Olimar. He switched to Rosalina, got the reverse 3-0, and I would definitely favor him going into this. Now, I expect Chase has been grinding the Rosalina matchup, but also, who are you going to grind the Rosalina matchup with? It's not like a super common character, and DeBuzz is by far the best Rosa, so it's really tough to get experience there, and I'm going to pick DeBuzz to win that one. Then you got Mudace versus Kurama. Now, Mudace has lost their only encounter, but it was at Summit, and I don't think Mudace was playing exceptionally well that day. He wasn't playing bad by any means, but he definitely could have been playing better. We all know about the Summit 6 story from Mudace, and it was still an extremely close set, and I still think it's going to be a close set this time around, but I'm going to give the edge to Mudace because I just assume he's going to be on his A game if he's in the top 8. And we have our top 4, Light Zomba in the winner side and DeBuzz Mudace in the loser side. And yes, I know it's the projected seeding, but hey, it just happened to work out that way. Now for DeBuzz Mudace, they have a 3-1 record in the post-quarantine era, and the last time they played was at Tokyo Smash Boot Camp, and I don't really know how to feel about that because that was more of a for-fun event. It was only best of 3. DeBuzz did win at 2-0 though, and then prior to that, the last time they played was Riptide, or rather Low Tide City 2022, which is over a year now at this point. Again, DeBuzz did win it, so I am going to be favoring him going into the set, but the last time they played in a super competitive serious set was almost over a year ago, so we're going to have to see how it goes, though. DeBuzz is still going to be the favorite. Then you're going to have Light versus Zomba. Now, this one's pretty interesting because 8-3 record isn't super telling of their last encounters. They've been going back and forth. Shine, they trade sets. LSI, Zomba wins one. You have Light winning one at Let's Play Big Moves. You have Light winning 2 at Shine, but Zomba picks up a win there. They've just been going back and forth repeatedly, and I'm going to say that it's Zomba's turn this time around. He's going to send Light to the loser side of bracket, so we're going to have Light versus DeBuzz in the losers finals, and that one is fairly self-explanatory. Every single set that they have played post-quarantine, Light has won it, and I expect him to win this one as well. Is it impossible that DeBuzz wins? No, but none of these sets have even gone to Game 5, so Light's definitely the favorite. Then you're going to have Light Zomba in the winner side. I will say that Light resets the bracket, but just like Shine, Zomba will be able to close out. I think they're going to be a trading regionals here. Light wins one in his hometown region. Zomba wins one not in his hometown region, but still he wins one, which is all that really matters. And I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's a player that I left out at any point in the video, if there's something I got wrong, or if you just want to say hi, please leave a comment down below. The support has been absolutely unreal. Be sure to sub, all that yada yada, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.